Oh, yeah. How's it going, everyone? Ooh, look at that juicy mirror. Oh, it is Friday, 5:44 p.m. on the West Coast. And I am coming at you live to do some more sharpening like I do every day. So today, we're going to sharpen at least probably this. We're probably going to sharpen a knife that I believe used to belong to me a long time ago. The second sprint run. Oh, Vic doesn't like clips on his knives. Interesting. The second sprint run that ever came out for the Para 3 back in, I think, 2017 was this Cruwear with these super light scales. And the reason I got rid of mine was the scales would get so dirty if I touched them for like no matter what. Like I felt like a heathen every time I touched this knife. I'd leave it dirty. So I think we're gonna work on that one today or this evening. But man, this edge is nice looking. But we did this on camera earlier today, and it looked great. And then I looked at it closely when we were done, and half of the tip on the presentation side was hazy, the top half. Getting this spot right there on the tip to be mirrored all the way to the end is so hard. So I redid the whole blade. I redid the whole blade down to 400 grit, and I got rid of the little spot, and I mirrored the fuck out of it this time. This is the most mirrored mirror I've ever mirrored. Most mirrored I ever done mirrored. You mirrored? So yeah, pretty happy with that, and it's actually sharp. It cuts well. How's it going, G-Man W? We got a nice little audience. Thank you for joining me on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so because it's where all this awesome video content can be found anytime you want. So today we're going to sharpen this Para 3 and we're going to use the Hapstone RS. So let's load this bad mamma jamma up. Okay, lightly tighten it down with our 3mm driver. Then we're going to take our 150 grit stone. Okay, all good there. Now we're going to take stone and line it up with the flat grind line. Get the knife properly positioned in the jaws. Then tighten it down real good. You know what I'm saying? Like real good. It takes some force. This thing will move. Being a perfectionist pays off when you're a knife sharpener. I disagree with that. Being a perfectionist is the worst thing to be as a knife sharpener, unless you want to be good. It sucks when you find something wrong with an edge. It sucks so bad. You just have to redo it. I can't look at it. I can't unsee it. And then I was thinking, like, this isn't even my knife. The shaman is, and I'm like, man, is Vic actually gonna see? I bet he won't even notice it. He won't even know to look there. But I will. So whenever Vic would post a photo, I'd be like, fuck, it's not as good as it could have been. So now it is. Now it's one of the best edges I've ever done. Spyderco will sharpen mailings for $5. I believe so. But when they say sharpen knives, they're not doing what I'm doing at all. They're not making you a nice, pretty edge. They're taking it and they're putting it on a belt sander for like 3 seconds and going zip, zip, and then they send it back to you. They're not making it pretty. They're not taking out the heel. They're not doing anything. They're not polishing it. They're just putting it on a belt real quick. They're not using a machine like this. Yeah, you can send them in and get it sharp. That's no big deal. But I don't know how long it takes. I don't know anyone that actually does that, to be honest. I know people do that a lot at Benchmade because it's free. And they have Life Sharp, which is also, you're paying for it because Benchmades are expensive. But If you want your knife sharpened, just send it to me. I'll make it better. Okay, let's put some marker on the edge. Okay, so now we're going to set this to 17 degrees like usual. Okay, we're at 18.9, so we're going to use the macro adjuster, the big knob on the Hapstone RS. Today I wanted to show off the Hapstone. I get too comfortable using the Cadet, so I wanted to practice with the Hapstone a little bit, using the micro adjuster now. Now we're right at 17 degrees. Let's see what this looks like. So it looks like at 17 degrees, we're a little bit high. Cut a little bit of this crap off. Shannon cloth's a little bit big and it's getting in the way. There we go. Okay, so we're a little bit high. On this side, we are right dead on. So one side we're right on 17, one side we're probably at 16. So we are going to profile. Make sure we're all lined up. We're still a little bit loose, so crank it down even more. Basically, you need to crank these things down as hard as you can. Okay, back to our presentation side. Now the Hapstone RS, the biggest complaint that I had and still have, and it's not a killer, but something to be aware of, is the way you have to hold this knob. Some people naturally just hold it with their fingers and sharpen like this. Perfect. You won't have a problem. If you're like me and like to hold it like this, you're going to have a problem though, because the rod comes through the handle. This handle is 2 pieces. This rod just slides on the stone holder. So I tend to be more delicate when I sharpen with this because I have to use my fingers to not poke my hand. So it's a little bit different sharpening experience because you're a little more, I can put more pressure on the Cadet because I hold it with my fist, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to have to be delicate with this. It's just something to be aware of that it bugged me at first, but I'm kind of used to it now. It's still the best system for anywhere near the price. Okay, we're doing our heel. I do like the sharpener. It feels nice. We'll check our stop collar. Yep, we're good. Cruwear has about the same edge retention as S30V, which isn't a bad thing. Actually, most steels, if you look at some of the knife steel rating charts that I've seen out there when they do edge testing, most steels are not that much different from each other, to be totally fucking honest. Like Cruwear, S30V, M390 is not much different. Like S90V, S110V, Rex 45, or not Rex 45, Rex 121. Those steels have crazy edge retention, but most steels are like Cruwear. They're not super hard. But Cruwear's cool thing is it's like the toughest steel out there. Maybe like 4.3V, but it's very tough. and has relatively good edge retention. So it's a good steel. Good steel to beat on, a good user steel. Good steel to have on a knife you're going to chop with or like beat up. I know it was really popular when the Shaman came out with Cruwear, with my Carter scales. That will be a sprint run fiasco that will never be that could never be repeated in history. The fiasco that was caused by that knife. Okay, done with this side. We're not 100% done with our heel. Let's get done with it. We're almost done. Let's just get done with this side so it looks nice. Alrighty. Check for a burr, which we got one. Easy to find burr on Cruwear. So that side's pretty much profiled and looks good. Got a burr. It's ready to rock. This side's a lot closer to the right angle, so this will be pretty simple. Once you got a burr on one side, it's pretty easy to get it on both. Okay, this side's looking nice. It was not hard. We got a little bit of work at the heel, but no big whoop to do. Stop the camera from shaking for a minute. This side looks nice. That side was fucking easy. No character to it. No character to that side. It was just a flat 17-degree edge with no problems. Nice, nice burr. So we are sharpening now. We've apexed both sides of the edge. So now we are sharpening. We have now affected the cutting edge in a way because you can feel it that you're on there. So now we're just trying to reduce that burr so you can't feel it, and then it'll be sharp. This one we're taking to a mirror for Vic. This is another Instagram star kind of knife. I'm going to tighten this even more. It's still slipping. So yeah, so now we're going to switch. We're going to do one more pass at 150 just to kind of finalize our profile. Any last minute changes. Make sure all the major scratches are gone. Line up all the scratch pattern from the 150 so it's all going in the same direction. Ooh, this is going to be a good edge. Okay, checking in the light. Moving it around. Got lots of good scratches from the stone, but they're all nice looking. Yeah, this side's easy. Okay, we're done with that stone. Now we're moving on to 400 grit. So profiling, what we just did, is the most important part of sharpening. If you can profile, you can sharpen. So once you got that down, then you're a pro. You know what you're doing. So now all we're doing is just reducing the burr and polishing. We're using the same thickness stones, so we don't have to adjust anything. We're just going to run through from 150 to 8,000 for a mirror. These stones don't take as long as the profiling stone at all, but the longer you spin on them, the more they will polish. So going backward scratches to mess up the pattern, and then do forward scratches. Okay, let's do that one more time. We're going to do 2 passes with 400 to reduce the burr a bit. And it's like our last chance to really make any major changes or screw ups. We want to leave the 400 grit stone beautiful, because anything that we don't leave will start to pop out at the higher grit stones like it did on the other side. Let's see what's going on. If the cadet is so good, why ever use a halfstone? Because I want to be able to honestly recommend something that's a good price. Although I prefer the cadet, I know a lot of the audience would like to see the halfstone, and I have it, so I'll let them see it. I wouldn't use this on a super expensive knife because I'm not comfortable with it yet. But I'll use it on a pair of 3 because they're pretty mindless to sharpen. I just want to show this off. I have both. Why not share? I kind of switch them up. I use the cadet probably 2/3 of the time, and this I'm still learning, and I like to show off, and it gets a lot of hits on the YouTube because people are searching for these because they're buying them. That's why I'm using it. So we did 1 pass. I'm going to do 2 passes on the 400. Oops. There's definitely a difference in factory sharp and more sharp. They're a bit different. Thank you, Michael. What up, Greg Bartram? Oh, hey, guy, Mr. Balake. Didn't need electrical tape on a pair of 3. You do not need to protect the ricasso or anything else on most Spydercos. Anything that has a flat grind line like this, because the reason is I put electrical tape on DLC PM2s and stuff because I don't want to rub the DLC off. But this knife, I can shove a stone right up against that flat grind line, and you never fucking know. You will never tell that I rubbed against it. So there's no reason to put electrical tape because I can't go past there. That's why I love sharpening Spydercos. There's not much to worry about compared to sharpening something that doesn't have a flat grind line, and you can overdo the handle, and that's why you need tape. Hi, Greg. Are there any knives I refuse to sharpen? Fuck yeah. In fact, I always get messaged about them. I get messaged about more like karambits and recurves and double edged dagger out the front automatics because no one will sharpen them. So people always ask me to sharpen them. And I will not do a recurve anymore because the one knife that I've seriously fucked up doing this over the last year was a recurve. It seems simple, but it's just I don't have the right tools. I don't have the right stones. I don't feel like getting the right stones because I don't need to do them. There's enough other knives out there. Someone else can have all the recurves they want. So I used to have a rule written on my price list that just said no recurves because I was getting asked so much. Get Vic in here, Walter. Sometimes I sharpen the edge. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just to make sure you got it all. Okay, second pass on side 1 with 400 grit. We're just going to line our scratches up. Light touch. These stones are nice because, like everyone always says, use light touch when you sharpen. I don't really, but part of it is these stones have a 5mm piece of steel backplate that is significantly heavier than the typical backing plate that comes on stones. Is usually aluminum and it's like 3mm thick, and this is steel and 5mm thick, so it weighs a shit ton. So it keeps the stones like seated on the edge. They don't bounce around. They feel like they have some weight to them, so they stay still. Okay. 800 grit stone. If you didn't notice, the rod doesn't come through here. This ball is a magnet. So you can actually take the whole arm off, which is kind of neat. And this goes bloop, and it's a very, very sturdy magnet. Let's put it that way. It's not going anywhere. I'm starting to enjoy this little system a little bit. But for $200, this is, you can't really beat this for $200. You need to buy your own stones. And everyone kind of is on board with this idea of the sharpener, seems like, until they start looking at how much stones cost. Stones can be cheap. They legit can't. But if you want to do this as a hobby, don't be cheap on your stones. I never realized how important stones are, but most stones that are good cost between $60 and $100 a stone. So these are, I think, $79 a stone. They're worth it, and you don't need all of them. You don't need to polish every edge. If you wanted to just get 2 stones of this set, you could do that. But the RS is only $200. You just have to think about your stones when you add on to it. So you don't need to get these stones. You can get half stone start CBNs. They're $34 a piece. Those would also be awesome. But yeah, that's where I think where a lot of people get stopped by the half stone is they realize they have to buy their own stones. So stones that come with sharpeners for free are free for a reason. They're not good. TS Prov diamond plates wear out really fast from what I've been told. And they are what comes with most sharpeners I've seen as bundles. Really polishing the heel. I don't want there to be any scratches in there. It sucks when your whole edge is like really mirrored and then you get towards the heel and it fades off and starts getting hazy. Gonna have a bad time. You got to redo it. Same thing with the tip. Just gonna do one more pass with 800. Make sure this is really scratch free. Oh, shitty. What up, Vic? Your knife's coming along nicely. My diamond plates went to crap after about 25 knives. Yep, that sounds about right. That's not a small number of knives, but yeah, I have heard they wear out. Yes, up. Okay, 2000 grit. Now we're talking mirror country, talking polished edge, talking time to find any imperfections, any big scratches, any big marks before we go up any higher. Got something I have to get out with the 800. Okay, in the light, right there on the edge. trying to take a little bit more time on these upper stones because I've found out when I do fuck up and have to repeat and go back through all my stones, the end result, because it's been like polished twice, is usually pretty dope. Okay. So Vic, we're sharpening your Cruwear Para 3 with Halfstone RS and Halfstone Premium CBN stones. We're going to take this up to an 8,000 grit mirror, and we're going to drop it down to 0.1 micron. This is going to be like look like fire when it's done. It's going to look like a disco ball. $5,000 grit. Now we're talking legit. Like this is shiny shit right here, y'all. Trying to get the very tippity tip. Yep. There we go. Okay, last stone. Whew. Ever since I started going to 8K, it just takes a little while. It's okay. It adds a couple minutes. The results are worth it. Sometimes I have to do this just so I can take a video of something. Sometimes I mirror knives for people that don't ask for it because I think it's cool and then I can take it off. I think we're going to try running through all the strops this time and see what it looks like. We'll start at 1 micron actually, and then we'll go through the strops at 1 micron down to 0.1, and hopefully that looks good. Gonna mod the crap out of that Cruwear. Will be fully loaded. Good. It'll have a nice bling blingy blade. Yeah, the very tip, I usually go to get it, I go 90 degrees into the edge. So I go backwards a little bit like that. So when I do backward strokes like that, that does help with the tip. So a little bit of both action helps it. Okay, so now we're going to jump to a strop. I knew what our angle was, but let me check it again. It should be 17, but this has been weird with me lately. I'm like measuring stuff and then going back and it's not the same. So still zeroed. We are at 17 degrees. And since we're mirroring this, we're going to try to stay at 17 degrees with our strop, which is thinner, which means we have to adjust the angle. So re-zero the strop. Nope, not there. I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. Okay, zero it. They're going to go down 0.75 degrees. That's how high it works. No, can't do that with that adjuster. I have to do it with this adjuster. Okay. Wipe the edge off. Okay, now I'm looking at this, seeing if there's any spots that I need to go back with a stone before I proceed. It looks pretty good. The heel is nice. It's a little cloudy. I don't know if I can get better than that though. Let's start at 3 micron. I want to get some of this cloudiness out of the heel, and that might do the trick. Higher micron strop we'll take out. Oh. Scratch is a lot easier. So strop's purpose is to straighten the very apex of the knife out, to pull off the burr, and to polish the bevels. So right now, I'm really just trying to polish off. Okay, we got it pretty much out. These scratches that were left near the heel. Heel scratches are the worst. They are the worst to get out. Okay, we got them out. We're gonna make this one extra shiny for Vic because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. Okay. 3 micron strop. We just wanted to make sure we got as many scratches out as we could. Now we're going to 1 micron. Vic, I noticed you don't keep clips on your knives. Is there a reason for that? This knife and that shaman were clipless. .5 micron. Kangaroo leather strap from Hapstone. I just put new gunny juice on all these straps, so they should be extra blingy because they should have tons of diamond on them. That's probably too much diamond on them, to be honest. I coated these things and they're already fine to start with, but I want them to be wanted to be sure I had enough on there to really bring some of these edges out. 0.25 micron, we're almost there. Hope this is sharp when we're done. What if I did this and it was like, wouldn't even cut paper? That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Sometimes that shit happens. I don't know why. Last drop. Get this thing over with. .1 microns as high as Gunny Juice goes. Or as low as Gunny Juice goes. Whatever you want to consider smallness as small particle size. That's what that means when it says something's a certain micron. So micron is like a grit rating system, kind of just like grit is. It's the size of the particles that make up the grit. So 3 micron. I forget how they convert over between grit and micron grit. But the smaller number you go on micron, the smaller and finer the finish is. So I have 12 micron Gunny Juice and I have 0.1 micron Gunny Juice. 12 will take out scratches because it's a much higher grit, but it'll also leave some scratches that the next emulsion after that in the line is supposed to take out. So Gunny Juice, if used correctly, you have all of them. You're supposed to just work down the line on every different grit, and when you're done, you have a scratch-free mirror is the idea. We're gonna have a pretty scratch-free mirror though, as is. So let's check this bad boy out. I think we're gonna blind some people on the internet. They're gonna be blinging out. And Vic's gonna be a happy guy. Take a little clean, wipe down the edge, just get it nice and blinging. And there we go. 8,000 grit, 0.1 micron, laser beam of a mirror of an edge on Cruwear. It's 40 minutes. Yeah, it took us a minute to do it, but it's a good edge. Let's check out how it cuts. It cuts like an aggressive 400 grit edge. It cuts awesome. Yeah, it's still sharp, even though we just went all that way up. It's still very, very aggressive and sharp. So there we go. There you go, Vic. You're all done. Pay up, sucker. No, I got to take some more videos of your knives because they have such nice edges. Got to show them off. So you're all done, Vic. I will take some videos and shoot you a message and get paid and get those off to you maybe tomorrow. Get them back to you quick. Just so you guys know, those came in today and they're already done. That's how short my turnaround times are right now. I'm doing stuff that's... I have some knives that came in yesterday. They still have to do, but 1 day, 2 day wait time is what you're looking at right now. Oh, snap. That's the no clips for ease of handling. That's funny. Do they make glass platens for lapping films for it, or have you ever tried them? I have not tried lapping films. I have some, actually. Last time I tried them, I didn't understand you're only supposed to do pulling strokes instead of back and forth. So I destroyed a bunch of them because I was pushing into the edge. But yeah, I could try those again. Well then, that was a kick in the pants. I enjoy doing these one knife little episodes. Thank you all for joining me. If you're on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel for all the video content that's ever been posted in the group. Not all. Most of the video content from the group is on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go join the Millie Club. You're not in the club until you're in the Facebook group. And when you're in the Facebook group, you will know it's a different place. My name is Thomas Moore. You can follow me on Instagram at Thomas O. Moore. And I will see you guys again later tonight, probably. Peace out.